Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to SpotPod. In our Alzheimer series, we visited the topic of healthcare in terms of the caregivers and how there's more to it than meets the eye, how the individuals can be helped from a psychological, from a mental, and also in terms of support system. And Andrew Yusuf was able to help us with that. Today, we take a step back. We take a look at what it's like to take care of your own health. And when it comes to health, fitness, and activity, I couldn't think of anyone better than my good old friend, Michael SEFIN. Not only is he a one of one when it comes to balancing work and life and focusing on how to maximize, or as we now know it, gamify everything around him so he can get in, whether it be his steps or his exercise, but you'll get to know more of that from him. Michael is an engineer. He graduated from Panacea University, later on got his master's, and then got his MBA. What I'm trying to say here is, other than the fact that he's doing impressive, is he has a busy schedule. And today we'll get to look at how, despite his busy schedule, he can get right into it. Michael, it's a pleasure.
Thanks for having me.
Pleasure's all mine, as always.
You're saying you can't think of anyone else? I need you to expand your horizons just a little bit.
You know what? You know what I need? I need you to introduce me to more people.
You know quite a lot, but you're a celebrity yourself.
But you know what it is?
But I'm sure with me being on here, people are going to say, man, they be letting anybody on SpotPod.
The thing is, it's not about what you have on your resume that makes it different.
Right.
It's what you can make do with the cards that you dealt with. And
right.
And I honestly think I couldn't think of anyone better than you, because I did not introduce how we got to know each other. We go way back. We go way before going to school, way before high school. We were together since we were in Abu Dhabi. Right?
That's right.
So
middle school days.
And during that time, the most impressive part was what? We were always trying to figure out, where do we fit in? You know, there's soccer around us. We were in the other part of the world, so basketball wasn't as big, you know? And despite that being the case, right now, you try to get yourself into, you know, playing basketball once a week, or maybe more by now.
Yeah, I try to do cardio like a couple times a week. So I'll try to do one basketball, one soccer, just to stay fit. I'm not a fantastic player at either sport, but I just enjoy it.
You know, another part that I want to give you creds for is your commitment to the game, and we'll talk about that later on. But the only reason why I say that, and for all of us who don't know this, we tried to record this episode already, and we ran into a bit of a glitch. We had no video.
That's right.
And despite that, Michael made sure that, you know what, we'll meet up again and make sure the audience get what they want.
I got the same fit on as last time too.
Yo.
Just to make sure we recreate the experience.
No one will know, because no one can see it.
That's true.
But anyway, speaking of fun things, why don't we play a little bit of a fun game, an icebreaker?
Let's do it.
All right. So for Michael, is it coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Coffee, eh?
100%.
Early bird or night owl?
Historically been a night owl, and I'm trying my best to become an early bird.
I like that.
Working my way through that.
If it comes down to it, would you choose weightlifting or playing sports? I know that's a hard question.
Man, it is really hard. I want to say I really, really enjoy both, although I slightly enjoy playing sports just a little bit more. But what's more sustainable for me is probably weightlifting.
Interesting.
Yeah, I can see myself weightlifting more times during the week than playing sports. And also, like, as I get older, I think weightlifting will sustain me more. Yeah, recovery time is great. Like, some days I'll be playing soccer or basketball, and at nighttime I feel like I got hit by a truck.
Oh, man.
Like, man, this is rough. Next day, I can't function.
No, you're exaggerating. But we'll dig into that a bit later. And on that recovery note, late breakfast or early dinner?
Early dinner.
Early dinner,
yeah.
Consistently?
Consistently.
You've noticed an impact on your lifestyle?
For sure. I can sleep better with an early dinner. I try not to eat after 6 p.m. on most days.
Yeah.
On weekends, I do whatever. Like, especially if I go out with friends and we eat late night, it's fine. But on weekdays, I try my best not to eat after 6, and that way when I'm sleeping later on, way easier sleep, and I'm usually hungry by the morning, and I can have a proper breakfast. Yeah,
it's more sustainable and it drives your day better.
Correct.
Okay, this is a hard one. Protein shake or chicken breast?
Chicken breast.
Oh wow, that was.
I
thought you were gonna struggle with that one, but you know what? Come to think of it, I remember we early on we kind of went back and forth on whether or not we should take protein after our workouts, protein shakes.
For sure. I mean, I don't get me wrong. I love a good protein, like a good shake. But I think that when I say natural sources, meaning like stuff that you can buy at the grocery store, I think we should get our nutrients from food at most and supplement with the shake. So you shouldn't depend on your supplements for your meal.
That's fair. You know?
Yeah.
That is true. And on that note, to supplement your lifestyle, to supplement your work. So when I said I couldn't think of anyone better than you, what I meant to say is when it comes to work-life balance, everybody aspires to attain that.
That's right.
But how could we act when we add exercise to it? I think that's the game changer. So supplement it, quote unquote. And before you get into it, I just wanted to know, like, what brought Mike to this point in his life?
Right. Like, how far back are we going?
No, I mean, you don't have to go that far back. I mean, it's up to you. What I'm wondering is, you know, Michael right now, who's plays sports, weightlifts, and also manages to work a full-time job while, you know, juggling things here and there. How can he maintain that daily activity? And what brought you to this point? Your interest, your personal life, this journey?
I mean, aside from you capping about me being one-on-one, what's brought me to this point is a journey of realizing why I should take care of my health. Growing up, it wasn't really a focus for me. I would eat whatever I want. I mean, like any kid, to be honest, like eat whatever I want, not really force myself to be active in any way. If I felt like sitting down and playing video games for a long time, I'll do it. If I felt like eating KFC, I'll do it. Right. And it's fine. Like, I was a kid. But everything changed when we had moved to Canada in grade 11, and we took that weightlifting class with Mr. Boyer.
Oh yeah, Mr. Boyer. Can't forget him.
Man, that guy changed my life. Like, he gave me tough love. He like patted me on the chest and was like, "Michael, your chest is pathetic."
Damn, use those words.
Those exact words. I'll never forget those words ever. And I was like, you know, he kind of right. It's kind of tough out here. But then it motivated me. I mean, I was not impressive in any way. Like, I mean, yeah, I was getting taller, but I wasn't really impressive in any, like, I wasn't setting records like some people that I know. I wasn't really like amazing at any sport per se. And so he wasn't really like that concerned with me, but the advice he gave me stuck with me for a long time. He gave me advice on my nutrition, how to take it serious, how to take my sleep serious, how to weightlift, like how do I actually go about my weightlifting sessions. Changed my life. And despite that, I still struggled to stay consistent in grade 12, first year, second year. I was going, but I would like go for a couple months, stop for a couple months. And then from third year, that's when I really locked in. And like, it was like after like my first ever breakup, I was like in my feels. And then I just used that drive to just put it into working out, and then was just able to create momentum since. Like, that was just the reason I started getting back into it. And then I was like, all right, now the discipline to stick with this is gonna have to be there. And to your point about like supplementing, this cool idea that I read in Atomic Habits is called habit stacking.
Stacking, yeah.
Pretty simple. Like once you think about it, you're like, oh, bro, this makes sense. But when you read it, it reframes how you think about it. And essentially, it's you analyze your day, and you analyze your patterns, and you figure out what your current habits are, and then whatever habit you want to add to it, you find the closest existing habit, whether it's place, time, motivation level, energy level during the time, that specific time, and then stack that habit on top of it. So, for example, if I want to start getting into making my bed every morning, and I know that I already brush my teeth every morning, then I'll make sure that I do it right after I brush my teeth.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like something that I already do that I'm just going to add this on top of it.
With it.
Right. And it goes back to that idea of like 1% every day is better than a big step in one day. And so if you're going to office every day, then maybe find a gym that's close to your office or close to your home on your way back. Yeah. Try to find something that you do every day, and then you can just stack that little piece on top of it. And so for me, like when I was trying to get consistent, a lot of things changed. I was working 5 days a week. I went from being in school to being in co-op to being in school again, living at school to commuting, to being on co-op to graduating and being in working downtown 5 days a week.
5 days a week in the office.
In the office. Working from home. Yeah. And then COVID, which then made it work from home. And then the gyms all shut down during COVID.
Yeah, look at that.
So it's like so many things happened. Yeah. But because me and my friends around me, including you, decided like this is something we take serious. And it is something that we do for our health. Like our body is our temple. And it's something we should take care of, not just for our bodily health, but also for our mental health.
Yes.
And so we did it no matter what. So no matter the schedule, if I'm going to work, then I'm going to try my best to go after work on my way back. Sometimes I would go at night. One of my really good friends used to work out before work at like 6 a.m.
Impressive.
I'm not that level. Like that's too much, for me at least. So you got to also know yourself. Like what level do you want to start with? And then just challenge yourself every day. And we talked about that. Comparison is the thief of joy. You can't be comparing yourself to someone else. You just have to compare yourself to where you were yesterday, last week, last month, last year. It's good to journal like about your progress.
Yeah, journaling is a big thing. I remember we discussed it.
This guy at the gym, right? He was like, "Hey man, can you give me a spot?" And he was like, I think he was benching like 3.5 plates, man.
Oh man.
And I was like, golly, like that's crazy.
That's a rep max right there.
Yeah, for real. I'm
like warming up with it.
Bro, he was warming up with my max 2 plates ago.
2 plates.
So then he was like, I was like, yo man, that's pretty impressive. He's like, man, don't even worry about what you're lifting. Everyone's got their own journey, bro. Yeah. And I was like, man, I didn't even ask, but I appreciate it.
Sometimes inspiration lands on you, you know? Out of nowhere.
The way he said it made me feel even weaker. Like the way he said it, I was like, man, don't worry about the level that you're at, bro. I mean, how do you know how much I lift? But like,
yeah, I know, right? Probably everything was written all over you.
So funny, man. Like it's funny. One of my boys told me I have a sleeper build. I was like, you know what? I don't know how to feel about that. Like,
yeah, it's a backhanded compliment.
Yeah, because he saw me like bench press this weight, and he was like, man, I'm not gonna lie, I was impressed. I didn't think you could do that. And I was like, yo, I mean, thank you.
Yeah, you know, like, it's one of those things that
I'm not sure how to actually feel. But yeah, man, like the gym is a fun time, and what's really dope about it is that no matter how long you've been doing it, there's always more stuff to learn. Like I'm always learning new stuff. Like one of my boys, shout out Steven Ibrahim.
Oh yeah,
taught me a bunch of new workouts that I've never done in my life. And we've been going to the gym for over a decade.
For a long time.
Right? And he taught me these exercises that I've never seen before. And because he's just on top of his game. And even like people at the gym give me pointers or you know, just like give me like a little tweak here and there. And it's awesome. It's like, wow, it's something that you can continuously learn. I know you're a student of life yourself. And so I know you enjoy that piece.
Yeah, you know what? I think there's something to write home about when you said, know thyself. I think it's very important for us to realize where we're at the moment and then set up some goals. You know, like maybe I remember we used to talk about like, oh, wow, can't believe time flies. And we've already been here for so many years. But remember when we were in middle school, you know, it was all about soccer, all about swimming. And then the goals might have changed a bit. But the goal was always to be better, to improve, to set that target and try to attain it.
Right.
And I guess I like how you finished it off. I know you're being a bit playful with it, and you said like a student of life, but it's true.
That's what you are, bro.
At the end of the day, you know, you wanna always try to glean some insights and to spark any action or movement that can come from anything, right? It could come from, as you said, like pointers, people at the gym, friends. You hear about a story, you watch it on a podcast or something like that, whatever it may be. I think to spark action or to get started, it's never too late. And I think that resonated with me as well. It took me a while to realize, you know what, maybe I don't do this certain exercise or I'm not working towards strength. Why not do it now? You know, it's better now than never.
Right.
As they say. The other thing that I wanted to ask you would be discipline and routine. And obviously your story is definitely not shy of that. I like how you touched on how your situation changed,
Yeah.
but your priorities didn't.
Right.
Sure, do we get to learn? Do we get to change? Maybe health was never a priority for a lot of people, and I think that's the motive or the goal behind this. But it's not about. I really like this quotation, and I think we try to lead by it on SpotPod, which is, you know what? It's not what you don't know that gets you in trouble. It's what you know that just ain't so. And I know it takes a bit of unpacking, but the idea here is, you know what? You might know, you know what? I should work out.
Yo, this sounds like the don't love your job, job your love type.
Job your love. Oh yeah, I know. It kind of sounds like that, but if you dig a bit deeper, you know, below the surface, the idea behind it is, you know what? You might be like, oh, let me go rediscover, you know, the best workout or the best supplement. What food should I be drinking? You know, a lot of us, and that leads us to the next part: health and wealth connection, and what to know, what to eat, and what not to eat. You know, a lot of times we're like, okay, I want to lose weight. I definitely should be getting that protein shake bottle. Right. I should be getting, the oatmeal in the morning. Although oatmeal on its own, we both know it's not the answer to anything. But we just see what people do, and we're like, okay, let's try to do that. So I guess my next question to you is, how did you learn how to prioritize your diet and your nutrition?
Right. I think it's like the discipline piece is huge in everything in life, right? Father Arsenius actually said this to us a few weeks ago. He said, the one thing in life that will always determine your success in everything is consistency. Are you consistent at anything that you do? And consistency requires discipline, like point blank. So I have not always been the most disciplined person in my own life. Whether that came to being my study habits, even my prayer habits, and it's something that I continuously work on, right? And even today, like something that I have to actively be mindful of. It's not like, right?
That's true.
And so when it came to the gym, this was the one thing that I said, you know what? I will be disciplined about this, because the ramifications of not being disciplined in that are so easy to notice.
I see what you mean.
Right? It's so easy to see when I'm slipping away. Right? Like it's so easy to feel when I'm feeling weaker, to see when my mental health is being affected, to see it. And with other things, sometimes it takes a little longer to notice when you've been slacking, right? When that midterm hits, or like when you realize you haven't prayed in a while, right? Like versus like with this, it was so immediate and it was so easy to just be like, all right, it clicked for me. Like this is what I need to do. I'm not the most athletic or strongest or anything. It's just, for me, I just focus on maintaining a healthy lifestyle.
Back to the whole idea of routine and discipline.
Exactly.
And maybe even atomic habits. Sorry to interrupt you.
Right.
Stacking them. So
exactly.
You start with exercise and you add more.
But even another thing in atomic habits, to your point, is when you're trying to lock in on a new habit, you have to look at the big circle, which is your identity.
Oh yeah.
Right. Yeah. And that's in both adopting a new habit or getting rid of a bad habit.
How can we practice that?
So in reality, you have to envision what type of person that you want to be because of this habit. For example, if I'll use a negative example just to be able to understand it. And I think smoking is one of the worst habits you could possibly have. Shout out to anyone that smokes.
Oh boy.
Know this. But
for
me, it's the worst habit you could possibly have. And so let's say if you're someone that's trying to stop smoking, you're not just trying to stop the habit of smoking. You're trying to also become a non-smoker.
A non-smoker.
Like that's your identity, right? And so even if two people are trying to stop and they're both being offered a cigarette, and this is an example straight from the book, and one of them is going to say, sorry, I'm trying to stop smoking, versus another that says, no, I'm not a smoker. The person that says, no, I'm not a smoker has a way higher chance of actually stopping the habit.
It's more empowering.
They feel more empowered, and also they are focused on the right thing. They're not focused on the micro action of not smoking in that moment. They're focused on who they are as a person.
Repeated actions lead to success.
Exactly. So for me, like, I'm not thinking of, I have to go to the gym on Tuesday. I'm thinking, I am a health-focused person, meaning like I will take care of my health. And so what can I do today to be able to do that? For example, today I had time to go to the gym, but literally my entire body was sore from the past exercises this week. And so I just said, all right, I'll just go for a walk. Right? So it's not exactly about what I'm going to do today. I'm like, did I go to the gym? Did I play a sport?
It seems like it's the mindset that matters.
Exactly.
More than the actual actionable habits that you do per day.
Exactly. But to the discipline piece, any of my friends that start working out, and we've seen so many of our friends like adopt this habit, and some were able to keep it, some weren't. And for them, always the thing that they would tell me, and it's the same thing I used to tell myself, is I just don't feel motivated. Or like I'll wait to be motivated at the beginning of the month, at the beginning of the year, at the beginning of this school semester, at the end of this school semester, whatever it is, right? And sure, you could feel motivated and you'll go, but will you stay?
That is it,
right? And so, like you told me this before, motivation gets you started.
Yeah,
discipline I was just thinking keeps you going, right?
Discipline keeps you going.
So it's one of those things where discipline plays a role in our lives in many ways. It's just being able to use it in this specific aspect. So one of my friends, he finished med school. He's very successful. He works as a full-time attendant now. Like, he's a very, very, very intelligent, successful man.
Definitely disciplined too.
Exactly. And so he's like, man, I just can't get into it. Like, I just don't feel motivated. And I said, dude, and he said, I don't have the discipline. I said, are you insane? You literally have way more discipline than most people.
98% of the population, let's say.
Way more than me. Like, come on. Like, you were able to get through med school, one of the hardest things you could do. And so you have the ability to put the discipline into something, try to channel it into this other thing.
Yeah.
Right. So just being able to have that belief in yourself that you could do it.
That you're worthy, you're able to.
Exactly. And taking those small steps. Like, you can't be looking at someone that benches 3 plates and goes to the gym 7 days a week and say like, oh man, I'm never going to get to that. I mean, that's not right. You should compare it to who you were yesterday.
Yeah.
If this past week I didn't go at all, let this week be the week I go once. Let 2 weeks from now, the week I go twice.
Yeah.
You know, it's like just slow growth where you try to build those habits slowly. Again, Atomic Habits did talk about that, where it was like just a small incremental change, aside from the stacking of it, is the way to be able to just solidify each thing. Each time you're able to solidify a small habit, then you add to it. And then you solidify it again, and then you add to it. But if you try to like build a lot, like at once,
it can crumble.
Yeah, you don't have you try to build it brick by brick, right? If you try to go all the way up, it's just going to crumble.
Yeah.
So to your point, discipline is the most important when it comes to this. And unfortunately, it's one of those things where you still have to do it even if you don't feel like it.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean don't have grace on yourself.
That's true.
Like, you have grace with yourself, especially if you miss a day or two, but to also be aware enough to say, all right, it's okay that I missed a couple of days, but I'm going to make sure that I don't miss the next one. Right. And so it was, again, another quote that I loved, which was like, if I miss a day or two from my habit, it's okay. But the next day I miss might be the start of a new habit, which is to stop the old habit. Right.
That is very powerful.
So it's one of those things where you just have to be mindful. All right, this is the path I'm going down. It's okay. Yeah, it's okay. I missed a few. I had things. Maybe I wasn't disciplined those past couple of days. Fine. Maybe I had stuff. It's okay. Let's go to the next day. Make my utmost effort.
You mentioned this before to me when we were talking about like habits in general. You said, I want to be better every day by 1%. And
exactly.
It doesn't have to be actually 1%, but whatever small actionable step I'm going to take.
Exactly. And it's better than who I was yesterday.
What was
that's the goal. Better than who I was yesterday. It's really hard to do because, again, I used to compare myself a lot to people I'd see at the gym, some of my friends that have been working out for a long time. And it's just, you'll never win. If you really think about that, you'll actually never win. There's always going to be someone stronger, better, faster, whatever. Like, there's always going to be. So just acknowledge that and just try to be better than you. As long as you're better than you yesterday, you're winning. That's the goal.
That is true. And what comes to mind right now is how there are several factors that inspired you along your journey to get started, or let's use this word for lack of a better one, restarted and get into it. So you got into it via sports, you got into it via weightlifting. Even through weightlifting, there were different aspects of weightlifting that you picked up.
But like when I was younger, let's say high school days, when after like learning from Bora, I was like, I want to get muscles so I can look good, you know, for the girls, whatever.
Yeah.
But the the more I grew, the more I realized that's not the right focus. And that type of motivation isn't sustainable.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like we talk about this with like some of the kids that we teach and the kids that we serve.
Yeah.
And like, you always have to find the right motivation. The right motivation should always be to be strong and healthy, right? That's what your focus should be. And if someone is like super young and they want to have different motivation, fine, maybe that's okay to start, but work on changing that. Yeah,
something to get you started, and then always. And you mentioned the in between of your storytelling part. You want to stop, reassess, see what went wrong, see what worked for you, and then kind of move forward.
Exactly.
Yeah. Exactly. Moving on to the second part. I was trying to link it back to Alzheimer's. And there's a study out there that said, you know what, those who experience, maybe mild cognitive impairment or whatever it may be, mild to moderate exercise provides a lot of fruits and a lot of promise. Not only is it good for diagnostics, what I mean by that is, you notice that, for example, if you get them on a path and they walk for a few minutes and then they do turns, if they lose their balance a bit more, they're more likely to be diagnosed with some sort of a cognitive impairment. That's one part. But also exercise could be used to provide not only a good plan throughout the day, and it helps them with setting up their memory and everything, but it could help halt or defer the progression of the disease, progression of the illness. And the reason why I'm mentioning this right now is because when it comes to, as we said, we're backtracking from like dealing with people who might have these conditions, how can they adopt that new identity, or quote unquote caring or prioritizing their health. The mindset that they have could be out of fear. Could be that, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. I heard that exercise is good for me. I want to pick it up. But if I would ask you, and using, stock market terminology, investment, what should they invest in? Should they invest more in the mindset, in the nutrition, in the exercise? What should be number one for them?
Yeah, I mean,
kind of categorizing and prioritizing.
For me, it's more like building blocks. You start off with having the right mindset to start. And that mindset, it will also help you, like you said, recover if you stray away. Like recover if you have a few bad days, a few days where you're kind of like off of it. The mindset will help you lock in again. And then I think nutrition is the thing that we neglect the most, man, especially in our culture. And I did read, some studies about this, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, where consistent insulin spikes that aren't mitigated do contribute to Alzheimer's later down the line. And so having too much of the incorrect food choices in our day-to-day life, it's okay if you have a cheat meal every now and then. Yeah. But if a cheat meal is my daily, I might really struggle later on. And so making sure to educate myself with what's the right foods that are good for my body. Well, how does my body react to certain foods? Energy levels, how do I sleep after? How do I feel? Do I feel inflamed?
Like brain fog.
Yeah, like I started also to notice like any fried food just leaves my whole body inflamed. Like I feel awful, having even to recorrect my taste buds to like start to appreciate fruits, dates, natural
sources of sugar.
Exactly. Yeah. Versus like back in the day when I used to eat like Twix, Snickers, Mars.
Oh man.
All that stuff tastes great.
Yeah.
And I loved it. And I definitely I love like a sweet treat, but is it really good for my brain? Is it good for my body?
Who's paying the price, kind of a thing?
Exactly. Which again, I'm always willing to have it every now and then, but it's got to be worth it, man. Like it's got to taste good,
Yeah.
Like, sometimes I'll be seeing people eat whatever. I'm like, man, hey,
man.
I mean, hey, like let's make sure this tastes good first.
You pay the price now and later, bro.
For real. But yeah,
that's
like
fair.
It's one of those things where we have to be really cautious, and just eat as much natural foods as possible. And Boyer really like put me on that.
He was big on that.
Yeah, he used
to say, "Oh, it used to be 5%."
Yeah, supposedly. I need to see pictures of that before I believe.
Same here.
Yeah, he just kind of made me like lock in on that. He was like, "You're eating whatever you want with no discipline of what you put in your body. You don't respect your body.
Don't respect you." Very good terminology.
Interesting terminology that he said. And I mean, I was grade 11. I was like, what's bro talking about?
I was about to say, definitely went over her head.
Yeah, for real. I'm like, because I used to eat whatever, man. Like KFC, McDonald's. I love me like a good like junior chicken McDouble.
Oh man.
And then he just made me realize like all that is just toxins to my body. And again, that does not mean to never have it, but to understand that when I'm having it, I'm not having real food. I'm having food that's objectively bad for me, but it's okay every once in a while.
Yeah.
Just to like enjoy my time. So, but yeah, like I don't deal with absolutes, but like I think on the average, the average of your month, of your year should be natural foods, should be foods that's good for your health. And that will also help you fuel your workouts. Your workouts will be strong.
It's a cycle.
Exactly. And so no matter how hard you work out, you actually won't see results if your food is terrible.
Yeah.
You know, like one of my friends, we used to work out together. We'd hit the same workout. He would probably be way more sore than me because he hit the workout way harder than me, for example. But I would ask him like, what'd you eat today? Or like the day after. And he's like, man, like I ate like a bowl of pasta.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, and?
You're waiting for
I'm waiting for the protein. Like, is there a mic drop? Give me anything.
Yeah.
And he's like, nah. And to be fair, his schedule was packed, but in reality, he's shooting himself in the foot, and he's doing himself a disservice because all the hard work that he's put into the workout isn't realized because of the nutrition. And let aside that workout, his body's also not benefiting. His brain is not benefiting from that bowl of pasta, which is just a pure carb that causes you an insulin spike, especially if you're having on an empty stomach. That's unmitigated, and so that also affects your brain. So all in all, I think having the right education on it, it's good to educate yourself on this stuff, and there's tons of education content on this right now.
Yeah.
Like when we grew up, like nobody knew what, right? Like
insulin was, let alone.
Exactly, man. Like if you're, I feel like if I met me back then, I'd be like, bro, who's this guy? Like, bro, who buddy think he is? Like, you know. But honestly, man, it's just through experience where you try eating that type of food, you see how it affects your body negatively. You try eating natural food, you see how you positively feel after. Even my blood work results way better after I started switching my food. So it's really something you have to be cognitive about. So yeah, it would be mindset, nutrition, workout, and then the dark horse that people always forget about is sleep.
Sleep, yeah.
Right, you got to make sure you get your 6.5 to 8 hours. Like,
get that within your usual norm and try to sleep early, wake up early if you really want to cut down on hours, that is.
Exactly, man. It's huge. And that's still the one piece I haven't been able to finally achieve. Like, I used to wake up early for when I used to go to the office a lot, and I used to be groggy. Like, I was never like energetic in the morning. I'm trying really hard to reach a point where I am. And I want to reach a point also where my morning routine can be done, not rushed.
Yeah, I always watch that or read about it, and it's like, you know what, I want to add this to my morning routine. But where? You know, maybe I'll add it at night. You know, I'm kidding, obviously, but like, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's like, where do I want to add it? I barely have time.
Exactly.
But sleep, mastering that, I think, can put everything into their respective slots.
And it just makes the rest of your day so productive, right? Like if you wake up with the right amount of time to do the stuff that matters, you're able to whatever, wash your face, brush your teeth, do your bed, spend time with God, like in the Word, and then go for a walk, do your thing. Like all that, you could do it comfortably. Amazing. Versus like when I'm feeling rushed, like, oh, okay, I gotta make sure I read this quick, or I gotta make sure I sit down. Oh, my walk, I can't even do a walk today, or a 5-minute walk, or whatever. It's like
everything is rushed.
Yeah, you feel like your day is starting to feel rushed, and you feel like the day's running past you quick. I think like having that solid morning routine is really good. But again, all stems from proper sleep, which will help you restore your body, like through your workouts. It all kind of feeds in together, right? Your nutrition makes you have a healthy mind, healthy body. That makes you have a good workout. The sleep makes you recover well from the workout, and then energizes your day for the next day. It all kind of works together.
And repeat.
Yeah.
We should make more shirts that have that on.
I'd be the first to buy it.
Navigated, directed by Michael. You know, taking all this information and seeing how much of an impact it has on the individual, what do you think the community impact could be? And I know you mentioned a few things here and there that could be, you know, a few kickstarters for us on that discussion, which is, you know, the right amount of people around you. Like I'm really a big fan of apparently it was an ancient Greek saying. It's like, show me your friends and I tell you who you are. And, you know, current motivation speakers change that a bit. And it's like, show me your 5 friends and I can tell you who you'll be. You know what I mean? And I definitely would say it's very true for us. Like, you know what? In our circle of friends, you know, having you as my friend, you know, send me that text message, you know, let's go for a walk. I know I disappoint you a lot with these ones, but I've definitely come a long way from where I was. And something as simple as a walk adds up. So I was wondering, what are the current community opportunities or societal opportunities that we could do? Like, how can you change the environment around you? Or if you're in an environment that doesn't have that, are you doomed for failure? Will the old adage be implemented upon you and you're done? Or what can someone do in that case?
Yeah, I mean, I think the best thing you could do to start is just focus on your own growth, focus on your own discipline. I don't know if you can edit out this example if you are, but
go ahead.
So like Father John was telling us about Saint Dorotheus of Gaza, and how like he used this cool example of using a compass and drawing a circle around it, and Christ, God, is at the center of it, and we're all kind of equidistant. But if one person draws closer and focuses on their own spiritual life and repentance, it draws everyone in, right? And so similarly, if we lead by example in a way to better ourselves, like aside from the spiritual, it can also inspire people around us. And I can say that I've been inspired by friends that have improved really fast at the gym, or have had really, really good habits that I learned from, and I just want to listen to how they do it, and I watch how they do certain things, and it inspires me. Or even they make me tag along with them at the gym to like teach me certain things.
I know you've done that a couple of times as well.
And so I was able to learn from them, and then I was able to take some friends with me as well, and then they were able to take friends with them as well, like later on. And it's just a cycle where I'm just a part of it, almost. Right? Yeah, it's like it's cool to see where I'm just someone that learned from someone, and then naturally someone learned from me, and then someone's gonna learn from them, and then it's like a good pyramid scheme, you know?
It's the like, one time where pyramid scheme is actually permissible.
It's like an MLM that we actually like, but it's one of those things that I think you have to start with yourself. Be okay doing it alone, but if you can have a friend with you, then that'd be fantastic. I love the days that I work out with my friends, but I also enjoy the days that I work out alone. You know, it's not I don't see it as a burden.
It's part of the same, like it's part of the painting.
Exactly. And I think it's always good to encourage each other, give each other like good feedback, constructive feedback sometimes, and just encourage each other, because we're all here to help each other out to begin with. It's not a competition. Again, you compete with who you were yesterday. And so if anything, I enjoyed working out with people that are way ahead of me, because that way I can have,
gives you something to look forward to.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, okay, like one day I can get there, but I'm glad that I'm just better than yesterday, you know? And
balance between motivation and gratitude.
Exactly. So yeah, I think it just naturally happens. I don't think it's one of those things where I'm actively gonna like inspire someone to do it, or like someone's gonna inspire me.
Give them a flyer, you know?
Yeah, it's not like that. But as long as I'm able to give people around me advice without being insufferable, where like I can just naturally give them advice, like my parents, I tried really hard to like help them to change their lifestyle, especially as they get older. I want to make sure that they keep their independence, you know, when it comes to doing things, whatever they want, mobility, strength. And so I'm giving them, you know, little tidbits here and there when they want to learn too. So it's really nice. But yeah, man. So the OG person I learned from though is you.
Oh man, yo, I don't know about that. I mean, speaking of OG and speaking of going back, speaking of making use of the cards that you dealt with, the one thing that came to mind was the whole idea of gamifying fitness. And obviously, you know, if you look at the wrists of almost everybody now, there is some sort of a watch that has a screen on it. Yeah, well, previously, it was just TVs. But now there's a screen on every man's watch, or woman for that regard. But, you know, and I'm looking around, and I know you mentioned this to me before. A lot of times it doesn't matter what you have, or it doesn't matter what's around, because you could literally have, you know, dumbbells at home and it's just collecting dust. Yeah. But I like how that I'm looking around, you know, you have a stand-up desk, you have a treadmill, you know, and you can, you know, rain or shine, you could get your steps in, kind of thing.
Yeah, man. It's all about knowing yourself. Nos che te epsum, right? As in Lime. I think it's not, again, like we said before, not everyone can afford like trackers or a treadmill. Not everyone is in that position to do so. But if you are, make the most of it. If the treadmill, I've had it for years and I never used it until COVID hit. Yeah. And then in the winter, I'm not able to get outside, but I also can't go to the gym. And so the treadmill became a habit that we started really getting into. And so, for example, like the Apple Watch, it's something where I believe that if you can't track something, you can't improve it.
Yeah.
Right?
You're big on tracking numbers.
Yeah, I mean, at work we use KPIs or whatever.
Yeah.
And it sounds buzzy and like borderline annoying, but it's true that if there's something that you don't know where you're at today, you can't assess where you are tomorrow.
Can't move the needle.
Exactly. And so if my Apple Watch assesses everything incorrectly, at least it can show me a trend line. So how many steps am I walking today? Did I exercise today? How hard was my exercise? How many minutes did I exercise? What was my sleep like?
The sleep thing
it's huge.
It's huge.
Yeah. So I've heard this from people older than me and even people younger than me, where it's like, well, we didn't have this in the past and we were doing just fine. So why do I need something like this? And fair, but that doesn't mean that we can't be better. Like it's a tool that's at our disposal. Let's use it. But again, you have to know yourself. Maybe some people, too much information overloads them and maybe they'll be anxious because of it. Maybe other people would have the tracker on them and just not feel any type of motivation, not feel any ways when the watch tells them anything.
Yeah.
But for me, like, I know it works for me. For other people, they might have other things that motivate them. So again, it's just about knowing yourself. Even though the watch is a little sarcastic sometimes when I stand up after I'm standing and it's like, you did it.
It's like, wow, what did I just do?
And I'm like, all right.
If only my boss could tell me that.
Appreciate it, I guess. But it is really helpful, man, because some days are so busy with work and you just don't realize how sedentary you're being. And it's like, wow, I've been sitting down for the last 5 hours.
Yeah.
Like, let me move. Like the watch is like reminding me, like, hey, like get up, bro. Like it's very helpful. Just as like a mental note, like keep it like as a reminder, right?
Yeah. It's an anchor point or a checkpoint.
Exactly. Versus someone else might be like, oh, I'm annoyed. Like, stop. So it just depends on
getting back to the mindset that you were just mentioning.
Exactly. And maybe someone else might be motivated through other means. Like, for example, like one of my friends became the fittest they've ever been after having their second kid.
That's insane.
And I was like, man, you weren't this fit when we were young. And now after 2 kids, you're literally the most ripped I've ever seen you.
Ever.
Yeah. And the person told me that it's because they tried lifting both of their kids at the same time and they couldn't. And so
it's like a wake-up call.
Exactly. It felt like a wake-up call and was a call to action. So forget trackers, forget everything.
Yeah.
Your kids could be more your motivation. So you just have to understand your own mentality, your own life, your own lifestyle, your circumstances, and make the best decision that you feel can help you in your journey in terms of either a little nudge, motivation, a little nudge, or something that can keep track and help you understand what you're doing, if you're doing things, and how to improve it.
Yeah, I really like that part, and I want to just make sure that those who are watching and might feel a bit, they're under whatever burden. It could be the burden of the first child in that scenario. They still didn't reach that wake-up point or that eureka moment or whatever it may be. Or they might have a lot of, burdens, school, grades, work. They're trying to get a job. They feel like it's insurmountable. I remember reading this quote, and I think you're going to like it. It says, your body can handle anything. It's your mind that you have to convince. So the challenge right now, you're given the illusion that, no, my body can't. No, my situation won't allow it. No, I don't have a treadmill. I don't have a watch. I don't have a baby. I'm not worried about that. I have a belly, for example. You know what I mean? I'm just being...
You got a food baby.
Yeah, food baby, that is. But at the end of the day, it's your mind that you have to convince. So I think this discussion, this dialogue is a reminder for each and every single one of us that, you know what? You can take whatever piece of information that Michael just told you. Michael just gave us so many examples, not only his own anecdotal examples, like people that he met, but also his lifestyle. At the end of the day, you can pick up anything, positive, negative, transient or long-term, and you can get started, and then the habit will follow.
That's right.
It's that reassessment, is that feeling. Before we kind of get into the wrapping up part, I'll give you a question and I want you to think about it. if for whatever reason, it's so funny that I said if last time and the camera just went off. But I'm saying if for whatever reason someone couldn't hear any of your stories, as beautiful as they may be, any of the stories that we shared together, whether it be the watch, fun stories, how, like, for example, I had it. I used it for the tech part. I enjoyed it, but I never used it for the exercise. This is you,
first time. You were the only one with the watch. This is you every time. I'm like, yo, Kira, what's the time?
That's it.
Yo, I think it is.
Yo, I know it came in handy for a lot of. It saved us once. Remember when I had to pay for something?
Man, this watch looking kind of cool. Like, I wish I had a watch like that.
But so I can make it more productive.
You're like, man, I don't know. It's looking like a.
That is so funny. You know what? Every time I remember it, I'm like, touche. They'll never forget it. Clearly, you never did.
But my friends make fun of me whenever I I tap my watch like this to turn it off. They make fun of me. They're like, yo, this is Mike. I'm like, all right, I'm not doing all that.
Yo, you know what it is? It's karma, I guess.
Low key.
But no, on a more serious note, what would be the one thing that you want people to leave with? And I don't want you to answer right away. I'll give you a bit of a.
No, just
no, you don't have to. I mean, if you want to, by all means. But you know what? Complete the following sentence.
All right.
Just a few little sentences, and I wonder what you'll say.
Okay.
I feel like we touched over them a couple of times before.
Okay.
But
what we got?
What is the hardest part of my work? That is
of my work, the sedentary nature of it. So just sitting down, meetings, calls, just sitting down. So trying to find a way to make it active in somehow. Some meetings, for example, I'm not talking that much, and it's more like I'm just taking in information. So actually, sometimes I like to go for a walk, taking that meeting.
Oh, you take the meeting while you're walking?
On a walk. If the weather is tough, I'll do it on the treadmill. I might even consider getting a walking pad. Super helpful. Because, man, otherwise it gets really challenging, because from 9 to 5, you're not moving much.
You're not moving.
So yeah, the hardest part is that sedentary lifestyle.
No,
but that would be like most people. I'm not saying it's unique to me. I'm just saying this is how I feel.
But I feel that's important, because you might be nice and you don't want to say it, but it's almost like if my job, or if Michael's job, is forcing him not to move around, but yet he's finding so many options, so many ways to be active, then why can't you find that? Everybody has. I'm not trying to reprimand anybody. I'm speaking to myself, obviously, before anybody else. I'm just saying, like, you know what? That's kind of a realization. You can do it even if you have a 9 to 5 job.
Yeah, it's hard, man. Like, some people be working at the hospital, they're on their feet all day, and it's just like they get home and they're tired. So like, it's a different struggle, right? Like, I just understand my own situation, and my situation is that it's sedentary, and so this is what I try to do.
You remind me of something, and I just want to interject and mention it. There was a study that they did, and I'll try to find it and I'll put it link in the description, but it's a crazy study. It's a very old study. They went to a hotel and they looked at the nurses who were there. And I use the term nurses lightly, but people who kind of take care of the place throughout. They had, I think that hotel had 5 stories. So they split it into 3 different groups. One being obviously a control group. Nothing happened to them. They just left them as is. The other 2 groups, they went to, let's say, the second and third story, and they told them, hey, by the way, you know what? Your job is your exercise. Your job is your exercise. So everything you do counts, not only for your boss, but also counts for you as a workout. You got steps in, good job. You moved, lifted, whatever, that's your workout. And the other 2, they went to them and like, yo, by the way, it'd be better for you if you consider doing exercise. Exercise is very good for you. It's very good for this job. Exercise is a good thing. Basically, the reason why I remember this, and I can't believe I didn't remember earlier, but thank you for reminding me, is basically what we're saying right here. It's basically what every single podcast that talks about it, or every single influencer that talks about, hey, get out there, get your steps in. Who's going to carry the boats? All of these things. Very cool, very good. But they told them exercise is important. Then they tracked them over so many years. I don't remember exactly. I don't want to misquote it, but it was more than 2 years or something like that. And they did a biopsy at the beginning of the study and at the end of the study. They did a test at the beginning and the end to see, or to track improvement. They tested their oxygen levels. They tested their performance. They tested how they feel. They even recorded and noted perceived effort. And when they came to them at the end of the study, something crazy happened. By the way, every single employee over there was pretty much sedentary. So that was the small little disclosure or control factor, is that everybody didn't really go to the gym. All they did was just go to work. The group that was told that every single movement they did was a form of exercise showed noticeable improvement in muscular development, in fitness, but the craziest part was perceived effort. All of a sudden, their job was not as burdensome as it used to be. They felt like they had so much energy by the end of the day, which, by the way, it wasn't a criteria they gave them. They just told them your job is an exercise. It's part of the exercise. And I'm only mentioning this because you mentioned the part about like there are people out there who don't have the 9-to-5 luxury. And I like how you empowered that because that's not usually what people think. But those who are on their feet all day, those who are going around, they can take solace, they can take comfort in the study. Because it's interesting, again, back to the mindset that you kept mentioning over and over again. If you realize that what you do is already positive, it's not just a placebo. It can actually empower some physiological changes at a microscopic level, which is very impressive.
And again, that goes back to the mindset too, because for example, some jobs are very demanding on your body, like let's say you work in construction. But I read a study that said that doing physical labor when you're forced to do it actually produces cortisol, which is a stress hormone. Versus doing hard work because you chose to do it actually releases dopamine.
Insane.
Right?
I like how you touched on the brain chemistry.
Right? And it's all about the choice. You're given the choice. And so for, I'm imagining the people in this experiment, they chose to put in this perceived effort, right? Because it was an interesting choice for them versus...
It was an enlightenment.
Yeah, right? When someone has to lift something for their job, it actually has almost a negative effect on their mindset. Although maybe a shift in mindset in that job could help as well. I've never been in that type of role, so I can't speak to it. But I think to your point, your mind is very powerful. It can change everything for you. But yeah.
As Nietzsche once said, you know, he who has a why can bear any how. You know, so if you have a why and a purpose, a lot of people, as you said, your friend, for example, was her kids, right? And for other people, it could be a myriad of different things. It could be intentional. You know, I don't have time to go to the gym. I don't have time to walk on a treadmill. I don't have time to go on a walk, but I have time to do my job. And you know what? My job is my exercise, is my thing, and I willingly choose to do it.
Right.
And you might not be able to do it every day, but if you could do it once or twice, that's where you reassess. The next one, the most beautiful lesson I've learned from sports is
teamwork. And also another thing that I enjoyed about sports is the learning curve.
Not every sport is as easy as that.
Yeah, like just taking that time to get better at a sport and then seeing its effect in person. Like, for example, like I remember back in the day, I used to play and I got a little bit better because I just became obsessed with getting better at soccer. I'm not a fantastic player. I'm just like, I could do the job. But I would like, let's say, get it on my right foot and I would shoot because that's my strong foot. And then after doing it a few times, the defenders would be like, force him left. He has no left. Force him left. And I'm like, dang. Or sometimes they'd be like, don't let him shoot. I'm like, yo, for real?
No way.
You think I'm like that?
You think I'm like that?
but then they'd be like, force him left. He has no left. And I'm like, dang, bro, he kind of right. I have no left. So then one of my friends I was playing soccer with, he was like, dude, you just got to practice like shooting with your left. And it's really hard, man. Like if you've never practiced it, I've never practiced soccer at like a organized level. It was all like my own effort.
Yeah.
So I took time like out of my day. Every time I'd go to soccer, I'd take half an hour before to like practice faking shooting with my right, taking it to my left and shooting my right. And it was like so many failed attempts until like I got it a little bit. And then the first time I did it in a game and scored, it just felt amazing.
Wow, that must have been,
I was like,
the final affirmation that, you know what, I can do it.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And that learning curve in general, I think we should always challenge our brain to learn something new, even if it's so small like that thing that I just said. I thought that was super fun just to see that learning curve and see it in action where something's so foreign, so hard, and then you get into it and you try and you learn a little bit. But also the teamwork, just being able to focus on camaraderie, focus on a team effort for the win. It's not about me, it's about the team. Something that I learned at a young age that helped me be more well-rounded.
Yeah. Beautiful, Mike. Thank you. If I could whisper one thing into every doubting youth ear or into your younger self, what would it be?
You are capable. So to have that self-confidence to say, hey, maybe I'm not where I want to be today, but I have all the capacity and all the capability. God gave me so much to be able to reach a point where I'm 10 times better than I already am. So having that self-confidence in my God-given abilities, and to invest in my talents, invest in instead of just sitting and burying my talents, investing in it. No matter what it is, not just working out, just in general, you are capable, and you are capable. So get to work.
Get to work.
Yeah.
You are capable. You heard that. I never leave a workout
without being thankful that I made it. Without being thankful, because some workouts are like awesome. I feel like I killed it. And then other workouts, I'm like, man, that was dreadful. Like I barely burned any calories. It was awful. I felt like groggy. I felt sluggish. But then I remind myself, well, I made it. And I feel better that I made it than if I hadn't moved from my house. So no matter if my workout was good or bad, I'm thankful that I'm in a position where that I have a gym membership, that I have a gym close to me, that I have a car that I'm able to use, that I'm healthy enough to do it. Just being thankful and looking forward to the next one.
You know, this pretty much sums it all up. I was just wondering, what do you want to leave us with? You know, to get you started, I would say I was influenced by the whole idea of, you know what, teamwork makes the dream work, obviously, and you are capable. Like that constant reminder, you know what, you could go through tough times. You could go through times where you don't have those, 4 or 5 friends around you that support you, that empower you. I'm grateful to have you, for example. But some people might not have that. Some people might be during a phase in their life when they're away. They have to remind themselves they're capable. And then finally be grateful for whatever the situation is. You don't have the gym, you have the treadmill. Great. You don't have the treadmill or the gym, but you have your feet and your legs. Great. You might not have one thing, but you have another. That gratitude is the best mental fortitude.
Yeah.
What do you want to leave us with?
Man, I'm not wise like Andy Yusuf, bro. You're putting me in a tough spot here.
No, but you know what?
The great Andy Yusuf.
Since you mentioned this, he said something very inspiring, and I'd like to echo it. Maybe that kind of encourage you to kind of spill some of your secrets. I'm kidding about the secrets part. But he said, we are human beings. We're not human doings. And it's interesting how a lot of times we're around people, and I'm trying to tie it back to Alzheimer's again, and we feel like we want to help, we want to make a change, we want to make a difference. But just existing, just being is sometimes good enough to propel us forward, to get us to the next step.
Yeah, that's real. I just want to say that sometimes it feels overwhelming, like to take in all this information. Sometimes if you haven't started at all, it's like, all right, bro, what? You don't eat this, you go to bed at this time, you go to the gym this many times, whatever. And it's like, all right, now I ain't doing all that, So I feel like once you get overwhelmed, it's important to take a step back and to challenge yourself to just take a step, like one step towards the right direction. Let me try to go to the gym once this week and just make that consistent, once a week. And then slowly let me try to sleep, 15 minutes earlier than my normal. Challenge yourself to push your boundaries with these incremental improvements, rather than being overwhelmed with someone's lifestyle that just looks different from yours today. Your lifestyle might look drastically better than theirs later down the line, but that's not what your focus should be. Your focus should be, I'm here today. I'm going to make an incremental improvement so that I can be better tomorrow and stick with it. Then I'm going to make another incremental and then stick with it. And that way, over the months and the years, you'll be surprised at how different you are in life. And so don't be overwhelmed. Remember that you're capable, and incremental steps are the way to go.
Michael, it's a huge pleasure to have you.
Thank you, man.
Thank you for coming, and thank you for sharing all this with us.
When you said that your body can take anything, but your mind is what needs to really get going. Is that what you did when you broke the wall sit record?
You want to know what I was really thinking back then?
What were you thinking, bro?
Mr. Boyer, Mr. Boyer, or Stuff Fluff. He's like, bro, every single person over here who drops from the wall sit will have to do suicides. I'm like, bro, that's suicide to me. I'll sit on the wall. That's all I was thinking. I was like, bro, I don't want to do suicides.
I was in the next period like, yo, where is bro? Is he all right?
Honestly, that's all I was thinking. But to be quite honest with you, and to be fair, I think it goes to your point. It's like, you know what? Everything is put in perspective of something else. I didn't want to do suicides, so maybe that's what kept me going. You didn't want to be stuck like, yo, you know what? I don't want to have that chest. I want to be stronger. I want to be better. I want to be. That's
how you ran into him recently?
No way.
Mr. Boyer?
Really?
After how many years is this? After 13 years.
13 years.
Yeah. And I looked at him and I said, Mr. Boyer. I ran into him at a Home Depot, of all places. I'm like, Mr. Boyer.
The building is
and
black.
He was like, you look familiar. And I was like, I was one of your students. And he's like, I forgot about that though. And I was like, yeah, man. We used to have like interesting debates and stuff, interesting talks. And he was like, yeah, this is ringing a bell. And then I was like, he was like, you look great. And I was like, you think so?
No, that's not what you thought back then.
Yeah. No, he said you look great. And I was like, dude, you changed my life. You actually changed my life.
You told him that. That must have made him feel good, but he deserves it.
It was quite at the moment. I'm like, dude, you genuinely changed my life. The knowledge you gave me and the motivation you gave me is like no other. And he was like, no, man, give yourself credit. It was all you. You're the one that did the work, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But really, really, this man changed my life. And
that was a good leader.
His impact on my life will forever, ever be there. And I will always be grateful for what he taught me, honestly. Like, it's not like he's the only person in the world that had that information. Of course. But he took time to talk to me.
Good intention.
Yeah, and
deliberate too.
He gave me that tough love too, man.
Tough love, oh man.
You know what I'm saying? I should have told him, man.
But you know what? I'm surprised you didn't tell him because
I should have.
Because you know what came to mind? It's like not like you were saying the story. I heard it before when you told me, but then I was like, no. I said like I'm trying to think of like you always hear that story of like people meeting each other, but I like how you recognize him. He did it. So that's kind of like, you know what? He should feel, you know what? It worked.
I mean, man, like he
credits to you too.
Think about how many students he's ever met. I was just another student.
But you're transformed too. So
but he had such an impact for me.
Exactly.
And I will always be thankful. I wish I could see him again to tell him, you said my chest was pathetic, bro.
You know, when you do see him, if I'm around, give me a call. I'd love to see him too.
Yeah, he's a good guy, man. And I wish I could be, I could have a positive impact like that. 10% of that positive impact on any of my friends, my future kids, even my friends' kids, if I can give them any advice. So
you definitely had, you know, even on my brother, you know, on myself, you know, so it's working. It's working.
Appreciate you, bro.
You know, 1% better. 1% influence.
Yo, you be like selling yourself short, bro. When we were younger, you were the most ripped guy I know. Back when I had like marshmallow sticks for arms, you had that. You had that chiseled, bro.
Semi-marshmallow.
And nah, you were chiseled. I was like, man, Kira's that dude.
Oh man.
But then yeah, like you taught me your ways and yeah, to many more years of us working out together, man.
Yo, pleasure's always mine.
My guy.
Love you, bro.
Love you too.
Honestly, I'm very grateful that not only have you done it once, but you've done it twice. You know, came on the podcast,
on the SpotPod. Happy to do it, bro. Third time's a charm too. If you want me back,
yo,
we need to have another follow-up episode.
Hopefully, I'll have the honors. You know, and you'll give me the blessing.
I love it.
That's for sure.
I love it.
No, thank you guys for tuning in. It was a pleasure talking to Michael SEFIN, and he's not only just a motivation for me or a friend, but he's like a brother to me. And you know, just remember, cherish the people around you. It leaves a difference. And in this series, although the series is that of Alzheimer's, it goes beyond that, you know, and try to see what influence you can have on your older family members, just like Michael did on his mom and his dad. You know, take them with you on a walk, engage them in a discussion, and you'll be surprised. You leave a word here or a word there, and the following day they're trying it, they're doing it. So till then, remember, SpotPod, your spot, your health. Thank you.